What is business intelligence? So we have the intelligence, right? Nowadays it's booming up. But what is business intelligence and where it will be used and how this ELT process, ETL process is used in our data warehousing environment or day-to-day environment. We'll see one by one so that you will get clear idea about all these process. So if you take any business, like if you take like a banking sector or retail, insurance, healthcare, and the telecom industries or any other industry, manufacturing, logistics, any other industries. So they do have source systems, right? A different source system. So these source systems to serve the customers, the front end customers, right? So customer front end applications. The data, so whatever the data we are getting in the system for the transactional purpose. Transactional purpose. So what is meant by transactional purpose, right? So in order to run the day-to-day business, so I have to collect all the information from my customers, the customer and order and everything, right? So it may be like if you take one e-commerce site, the customer, I am the customer, I'll go to the site. So I will select the particular product and I will add it to the cart and I will go for the checkout and I will do the payment. After that, I'll get the invoice, right? So invoice and order status and everything. The order will get created in the backend and the data will get stored in the database. So after that, the order will be picked up by the merchant and they will be doing, okay, so order, they will confirm it and then they will go for the shipment, right? So shipment they will go for and then they will deliver it. So they will hand over the product to the delivery person, then the delivery will pick and then they will deliver it. So after that, so I'll get the notification, right? So all these are data. So everything is like a data. Say for example, if the merchant is getting that particular order, they'll make it like, okay, order received, confirmed. Then it means, okay, we will get notification. Okay, your merchant has confirmed the order. So he is placing that, he is working on the shipment. Then shipment has been picked up by delivery person, courier, right? The similarly, it has been delivered to this particular facility, then it will move to the particular location, right? So how the transit is happening. So everything will be captured by different applications. It may be like a handheld devices or system also, like different application you'll have, right? So we will be getting the data from different source system. These data will get stored here. So whatever the data we are getting for the business, it is nothing but these source systems are called OLTP system. So OLTP is nothing but it's an online transaction processing. In order to run the business, each and every company will have this OLTP system, right? So OLTP is nothing but online transaction processing. So if you take IRCTC, it's Indian Railways, right? Okay, so I want to book a ticket, train ticket or hotel ticket or tourism, right? So anything I want to book a ticket. So I'll go to the site. So this is one application. I'll go to the site irctc.com, co.in or whatever it may be. So I'll go to the particular site. So I will do this transactions. Okay, I will book a ticket. It may be train ticket or the hotel reservation or anything, right? So that I can book it. So whatever I'm doing it, so the front end application will store the data here. This data will get stored. So it may be like RDBMS from the business side. So RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. So mostly to capture the data, they will have SQL Server, Oracle, right? So these kind of databases they will have. So it will store all the data for fast insert, update, delete, a DML operation, it will happen. Similarly, we can have other source systems also. Like we may have applications. So we may have different application, maybe mobile applications or desktop applications or any other. For example, we are the CRM, customer relationship management, the Salesforce, right? So that it will collect all the customers' data. So that applications also we may have or SAP payroll information. Yes, I have to put some data, payroll information I have to run for my employees. Then I'll go for some payroll software, right? So SAP. So I can put SAP, something like that. Okay, CRM or anything. So customer relationship management, all this. Or I can get the data. So this is just I'm giving you the example. We may have a lot of applications. Okay. So here I may get data from third-party vendors. Okay, so this network, this particular IRCTC, they may have the network, right? Okay, some particular company is serving the network. Okay, so network devices, all this, lot of third-party vendors. They'll be working with this particular company. They'll have a lot of business with them. At the end of the day, they will send the report by using file system. Okay, like files we'll have. Like we may have CSV file. It's a comma separated value file, right? So CSV file, JSON file, XML file, different file system. So how they will send the file system to us? So they will put the files in the SFTP folder, secure file transfer protocol. So from that, they will put the file and then we will read the file. So SFTP, we will call it a secure file transfer protocol or Dropzone or Dropbox or anything. So we will have it. So they will place the file, then we'll read it. So we may have different source system in order to run the business. So to run the business, I need these applications. So for any organization to run the business, yes, we'll have it these applications. So just I put only 4 or 5. Similarly, we'll have a lot of applications internally or externally. So external data also. Okay, web services. From the front end applications, I have to read the real time data. So for that, I need web services, right? So that kind of applications also we may have here. So this is what I have to read and collect all the information. Okay, I collected all the information and I stored here. But think about the railway ministry or the e-commerce site. Think about the business analytics team. So they have to do some analysis. So what is the operational efficiency? They want to analyze it. A customer satisfaction survey, they have to analyze it. Or they have to go for better resource allocation. So everything they want to do some marketing. So targeted marketing, budgeting, forecasting. So everything they will do, right? So can we extract the data from here and do all the analysis? No. If I'm going to directly hit this particular databases directly for reporting purpose, for example, the business has started 7 a.m. and 7 a.m. the business wants to analyze it. So how the business is going on last quarter, last month, and year on year. So if I'm going to do last quarter itself, some aggregation, what will happen? So a lot of aggregation functionality will run on this particular databases, and this particular database will get impacted. Impacted means slowness, right? So if you are going to run some aggregations, year-on-year growth or quarter end results, for quarter end results, I have to take some budgeting, forecasting, all the data. So if I'm going to hit these databases, source systems, so every now and then the real-time business, right? The daily business will get impacted. The sources, the front-end application, they will feel the slowness. They'll go to the site, so they cannot book a ticket also. So in that case, so even 30 years or 25 years before, the fathers of data warehousing, Inmon and Ralph Kimball, they suggested that, okay, so instead of getting the reports from here, so we will create a separate data warehouse. Okay, it's called a separate system. We'll call it as data warehouse. So what is that warehouse will do, right? Like we will collect the data from these source system and we will load it into this one particular data warehouse. It's like a huge volume. We will load it here. It will store all the historical data. So this is the place where we will store all the data, so all the organizational data. The company will decide, okay, this is to run the business. This system, this database is for to analyze the business. So in order to analyze the business, I need this particular database. So this database, we will call it as OLAP system. So OLAP, it's nothing but online analytical processing. So analytical processing. So this is what we'll have, right? So analytical processing. So we have to do analysis. I want to do analysis. Okay. So do analysis in this particular database. And so since it is holding like a historical data, like first 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, if the company is running, all the data we will hold it here. So this particular database, we will call it as data warehouse. Okay. This is also database only, but we'll call it as data warehouse. So this data warehouse in real-time project is called enterprise data warehouse, right? So enterprise data warehouse. So we'll call it as EDW. So enterprise data warehouse. So this is like EDW, we will call it as. Normally, if you go to any real-time project, yes, we will call it as EDW. It's a data warehouse. It will hold all the historical data. So initially, we had this Oracle database. Yes, Oracle we can have as a data warehouse. Yes, we do have Oracle Exadata in our real-time project, that is data warehouse. And Microsoft SQL Server, yes, we can have warehouse. And mostly like a Teradata, like some companies will have Teradata, some companies will have Netezza. So Netezza, these databases we can have. So other databases also. So these databases, we'll call it as data warehouse. It will hold all the historical data. So, but if you take these databases, like mostly like on-prem database, initially we had on-prem databases. So it will hold structured data, mostly structured data only, structured data or semi-structured data, semi-structured data, semi-structured data. So we'll have the structured data and semi-structured data in this particular database, on-prem database. We'll call it as on-prem database. So we'll have on-premises. So this is called on-prem. Shortly, we'll call it as on-prem. Okay, so on-prem database. Okay, mostly it will handle structured, semi-structured data. Okay, so we have to move the data from these databases to this particular database, right? So maybe it's Oracle, SQL Server, Teradata, and it's based on the company. They'll keep any one of the database. This is mostly like analytical database. If you take Teradata, it's completely for big data analytics. It is also analytics database and Oracle Exadata, similarly SQL Server also. Like we'll keep it like huge volume. So there we will keep it all the historical data. So I have to move the data from the source system to this particular data warehouse, right? Okay, so can I use any pipeline? Can I use any DB link or anything? If it is Oracle to Oracle, yes, it's very simply we can use one DB link and extract. So just to move the data from source system to this one, and we can do. So any replication also we can do. But the source systems are heterogeneous, right? So heterogeneous means different source system. Heterogeneous. Okay, we have to collect the data from heterogeneous. So these keyword you have to use. Okay, while explaining your project, you have to use these keywords. So heterogeneous sources. Heterogeneous means so like RDBMS, even Oracle, SQL Server, DB2, or any other source system we can get the applications, third-party applications, or our own applications. Like we can get the data. Application means front-end application, IoT devices. So all these applications, okay, mobile application, desktop application, workday, like different application we can get. SAP, CRM, so different source system, and then file system also. So we may get the data. So how can we move the data from here to here? So that is what we used to have a tool, a common tool we are going to have. So that common tool, we'll call it as ETL tool, right? So ETL tool. So this particular ETL tool, previously we'll call it as on-prem ETL tool. Like on-prem means mostly we used to have on-premises. So within the company, they will have this ETL tool. So the company will pay for the license and then the company will provide the license and server and everything. Then they will install on their premises and the network firewall and everything will be handled by that particular company only. So this particular tool, we have to connect these sources. Okay, we have to connect with these sources and extract the data from these sources. So we have to extract the data from these sources and load it into this particular data warehouse. So this process we will call it as ETL process, right? So ETL is nothing but extract, transform. So we will do the transformation in this particular tool itself. So transform and load. So here, so this process we'll call it as ETL process. Okay, ETL process. So this process we'll call it as ETL process. So most widely used ETL tool is nothing but we have Informatica Power Center. Okay, so previously we had Informatica Power Center, we have ODI, so Oracle Data Integrator, SSIS, like SSIS we have from Microsoft, SQL Server Integration Service, like Ab initio, lot of other tool talent, we have lot of tools are using. So this is Informatica Power Center. It's like on-prem tool. So on-prem means the company will hold this particular tool and then they will have the license. They will connect to these systems and they will collect the data. So mostly we will get the batch data. So what is mean by batch data? At the end of the day. So mostly like at the end of the day, so whatever the data has been loaded into the source system, at the end of the day, we will move from source system to this target system. So this ETL tool, normally Informatica Power Center or Informatica Cloud, IICS or IDMC, we will call it as it's a data integration tool. So it will integrate data from heterogeneous sources to this data warehouse. So this process, we will call it as ETL process. Okay, it's nothing but schema on write. This process we will call it as. So what is the meaning? Schema on write means. So we will complete the schema also. We'll do the transformation. Transformation means the ETL process, right? Cleansing and conversion, apply some aggregations and everything, dimension load, fact loads and everything we will do it. And then we will write it into this particular data warehouse. And from the warehouse, we will collect the data. Even we'll go for data mart. Okay, so we'll create a data mart here. So different data mart here, like it's a merchant data mart. For example, so you have to do some analysis for this particular merchant alone, then merchant data mart will be created. So you have to do some finance analysis, finance data analysis, then finance data mart. So then you have to do some other sales analysis, sales data mart. Okay, so this way we'll have different data mart. This is called data warehouse. So after that, we'll have the data mart here. So data mart. Okay, so data mart is nothing but subject oriented information. We'll load it here. Okay, so normally we'll call it as a DM, right? Subject oriented information. So we'll load it here. So only for that particular subject. Okay. So instead of having all the data, if I'm going to querying in this particular data warehouse, so I can have it like a one subject area here. From that, we can have only, for example, data mart means I will have only tables with merchant related tables for their reporting purpose. Okay, so finance data mart, sales data mart. So this way, supplier data mart. So this way I can have different data mart. So from that data mart, we can take different business analytics reporting. Okay, so business analytics reporting. So we'll take business analytics reporting. So analytics means so all kind of reporting. Okay, so business reporting we will take from here. Business analytics reporting from the data mart. So what kind of reporting we'll take? So what tool we will use here? This data warehouse. So we'll use Tableau. We'll use mostly like a Power BI from Microsoft products. We can use the Power BI, and even if it is they're using Google product, they will use Looker. If AWS project, they are using QuickSight. So like this, we have a lot of different tools we have. So we may use any one of the tools. For dashboard, creating the dashboard. So business analytics reporting means dashboard, scorecards, ad hoc reports, all this they will take it from here. Okay, so this is what we will, this is nothing but downstream reporting team, business perspective. We do have, okay, marketing, that is separate VP directors will be there. They will do a lot of business analytics. Okay, we have spent, so this is the amount we have spent for this quarter for this marketing and brand ambassador. We have given a new brand ambassador we have taken for this particular quarter, and we have spent this much amount. What is the outcome? What is the benefit out of that, right? So they will do a lot of analysis. Okay, this is what we have spent and a new product launched and what is the outcome, right? Everything they will do. So this is for on-prem. Okay, so nowadays most of the enterprises are modernizing it, right? So enterprises are modernizing it. So they have to do a lot of AI and ML process, right? AI is nothing but artificial intelligence. ML is nothing but machine learning, data science, the project they need to do. So for that, they need to modernize their data warehouse platform. So we'll call it as Enterprise Data Lake, EDL. So here it's a cloud. So they brought into like a cloud. So for example, so we are the cloud. It's nothing but EDL. So we'll call it as EDL. So Enterprise Data Lake. Okay, so that's what we had. So Enterprise Data Lake. So we have two types of process we can perform in this Enterprise Data Lake. So here we can do similarly, we can do ETL process or ELT process. Okay, so what kind of cloud data warehouse we have? If you ask me, so if you take a Snowflake, so we can use Snowflake Business Analytics. Yes, Snowflake platform we can use, or so even you can use AWS Redshift. So we can use for this data warehousing, cloud data warehousing. Yes, right. So or we can use Azure Snaps Analytics. So we can use Snaps Analytics, or we can use that is GCP, Google. We can use Google Cloud Platform, nothing but BigQuery. These are the enterprise data warehouse environment on the cloud side. So these particular cloud platforms can handle structured data, okay, structured data, semi-structured data, semi-structured data, and unstructured data also. So unstructured data also. So these three kinds of data it can handle these cloud platforms, not only for business analytics, for data science, AI, and ML process also. So I want to train my model, and that model, after training that model, so it will send the feed this data to the source system for better user experiences, right? So if you take YouTube or Netflix or any system, right? So everybody will use this data science and machine learning algorithm, and then they will analyze these data, and again they will feed back the data to the source system. So that is what we have. Okay, so from this on-prem, they moved. So we have to modernize every platform, right? So they moved to Informatica Cloud. So we are the Informatica Cloud because this Informatica Cloud can connect with 100 plus connectors, 100 plus source systems, like all the front-end applications, all the RDBMS. So through web services, it will connect, APIs, it will connect, cloud platforms, it will connect. So a lot of connectors we have. SAP, everything it will connect. Even directly it will connect with Tableau or Power BI also, Informatica Cloud. So that's what we have the cloud system here. So to modernize their platform, everybody is moving towards on the cloud. Okay, Informatica also, they moved on the cloud. It's nothing but, so cloud means the particular company will handle the server maintenance, upgrade, everything, resource maintenance, everything. The particular company will maintain it. So this particular tool, so now it is called Informatica IDMC. So Intelligent Data Management Cloud, right? So mostly by using this IDMC, we can perform two types of operation. So what are those two types of operation? So we can perform ETL as well as ELT process. Okay. So we can perform ETL as well as ELT process. So it will collect all the data. We can load it into this one. So what is that? We can do two types of data processing. So one is ETL, the other one is ELT. So ELT is nothing but extract, okay, load the data, and after that do the transformation. So that two process it will do. So like extract, so from the source, even for streaming the data streaming we can do extract. We are not going to do any transformation in Informatica. So we can just load it into this data lake. So after loading it, so we can perform all the transformation logic. The transformation logic, so we can do, so here we are going to do the transformation logic. Okay, so here, so we can perform transformation. So that is nothing but, if you do the transformation here, so that is nothing but schema on read as well as schema on write. So ELT process mostly like schema on read. Schema on read means, okay, this is schema, so spelling mistake. Schema on read. So read means just we will load the data. After that, whichever the team is going to use that, so that time they will write SQL queries, okay, select star from or something, whatever they want to do, they will write all this. Okay, so both process we can perform. So it's nothing but schema on write, s- schema on read. Schema on write means while writing the data, we will do all the transformations and we'll perform all the schema and everything. We'll arrange all the data that we'll perform. And here, so we'll do only schema on write. While loading the data, we'll perform the transformation logic and then we will do it. Transformation and then load. So that's what ETL. So this IDMC tool handle both ETL as well as ELT. So we have the one operations called data ingestion here. So it will connect to the source system. It will ingest the data. So directly, even if you have file here, it will ingest. So that's nothing but it will handle batch data as well as real-time data also. So real-time data means so what data we have in the source system so that we can collect. Okay, so we can connect as of now what data is we have so that we can directly connect with APIs and we will do. Or we may have like a Spark engine or Kafka or any other streaming engine, right? So from there also we can connect and then we can read it and then we can load. So both we can load both batch data, real-time data. Real-time data means at 7:37. So what transactions happening there? Just I want to connect to the source system. I have to collect. Batch data means yesterday what happens. So that yesterday or 1 hour once. So we may have cyclic jobs or daily jobs, right? So cyclic is nothing but intraday jobs. Intraday means within the day. For example, our customer is asking, business team is asking, so 7:30, 7:30, if I'm going to see the data, it should have at least 7 o'clock data in the data warehouse in the report. Okay, Tableau or Power BI report, it should have at least 7 o'clock business data. It should incrementally load the data here and it should get refreshed every half an hour once. 7:30, if I'm seeing, it should be up to 7 o'clock. 8 o'clock, if I'm seeing report, it should have up to 7:30. It means every 30 minutes once I have to schedule the ETL process. It has to fetch the data and it has to load the data. Or even you can go for something like streaming the data. Okay, so streaming the data means you want to, for example, load the raw data. So normally you will do raw data. So here we will call it as raw data, right? So raw data means we are loading the raw data into this data lake or cloud data warehouse. After that, we will perform. So data lake is nothing but, for example, if you take AWS, we have the S3, right? So we can load the data. For example, what kind of data we can load into S3? So AWS S3 we have. So product reviews. Some persons are doing product review on the source system. So it's not like a structured data, right? So they will do like a product reviews or customer response, customer reviews, all this. Clickstream logs. So whatever the clicks they are doing, the particular front-end application, so that logs also I have to collect. So for example, whatever we are doing, so they will ask cookies, right? So cookies agreement, they will ask whether I can collect all the information. You are giving that okay, so agree or reject all. So that we can. So it means whatever we are surfing in that with the mouse click everything. So that information they will collect, right? So for their better analysis, clickstream logs, mobile application logs. So all kind of logs they want to collect it. So collect it and then load it into S3 as just raw data. They will load it into S3. So after that, we will do the analysis for machine learning algorithm for ELT algorithm. So like a different analytic. So in Azure, similarly, so what is the Azure we have? So we have the ADLS. So ADLS is nothing but Azure Data Lake, right? Azure Data Lake Storage. So that we can load. Or GCS we can load Google Cloud Storage. So whatever we have in this particular systems, right? Like S3, Azure, we have the ADLS. I will do it. I will put it here. So these are the storage system. Okay, like object storage we'll have. So simple storage service and Azure Data Lake service. And here we have the Google Cloud services. So these are the service where we can store the data as a like a file system, object storage. So columnar storage we can store, and then after that we can collect the data. We can use IDMC to do even ETL process, transformation logic, load it into Redshift from S3 to AWS, or ADLS to Azure Synapse Analytics, or even you can use DBT tool, right? So here in Snowflake, so we can use DBT. So we can perform some transformation logic. We can perform Snowpipe, you can use. So a lot of tools we have, the process we can perform, right? In Snowflake, we can perform these kind of logic, and then we can do. So this kind of process we will do. So ELT, ETL process. So whatever the process you want to do. So directly you can load it into the data warehouse. Then you can do business analytics. After that, you can perform different transformation logic, right? Or you can load it some streaming data from the data sources. Like your source system, they are sending hundreds of files. So whatever the files they are placing, you have to ingest it. So all this you have to do. So that is nothing but you have to load it into this data warehouse environment. After that, you have to do data lake, and then you have to do the process. So these are the different process we have in the real-time environment. So why do we need this particular tool, Informatica or any other tool? Okay, so everything is for business analytics, so business intelligence and artificial intelligence, right? Nowadays it's booming up. So this is nothing but the source system for to run the business, the target system OLAP to analyze the business. If I want to analyze my business, I have to do this, analyze the business, or if I want to go for AI or ML process, right? Data science and everything we have to do. Yes, we can do. So AI and ML, so we can perform after loading the data here. So that's why the companies, a lot of companies are moving towards on the Azure or AWS or Google, GCP and Snowflake, right? That they are moving towards on the cloud, not only for ETL business analytics, they are going for AI and ML process as well. So we can perform all kind of logic like ELT, ETL process. Everything is there. And even if you are using in your real time, they are using Redshift or Azure, they are using some project. You can do the forklift. Forklift means uh, extract the data from the source system from heterogeneous sources, load it into this data lake by using Informatica. After that, you can use, for example, Snowflake, you can use DBT, right? And you can do the transformation logic, or you can use AWS Glue, you can use Azure Data Factory, you can use. Similarly, BigQuery, yes, you can do the SQL transformation logic, right? You can write procedures, you can do the transformation logic. Either we can use native ETL tool on the cloud, or we can use this IDMC. Okay, it's based on the projecting. The companies they will decide. So this is complete architecture about the ETL process, ELT process, and how the on-prem will do and how the cloud will do. So cloud is nothing but, right? So why the companies are moving towards on the cloud? So everything will be handled by the resources, upgradation, maintenance, right? Everything will be handled by these companies and only pay as you go model, right? So pay as you go means pay as you go. So how much resources we are using, for that resources only we are going to pay. But here it's a licensing, individual license, right? So individual license. Okay, so individual license, we will do it here, right? So in material of usage, so we have to pay. For example, Saturday and Sunday, we have material of usage. We have to pay for that. The company has to pay for this, right? Saturday and Sunday, we have less volume of data or high volume of data. So we have to pay for that license. And here it is not like that. Okay, December month we have a lot of transactions happening. So that month we will pay more and other months we will pay less. But here for all the months we have to pay the same amount, right? So that's what on-prem model. On-prem, for example, Informatica 9.6 we have to migrate to 10.2, then company has to do the upgradation. The particular company do the upgradation, maintenance and everything. For example, secure agent, the server is installed on Windows, then Windows is going for the patching. Then Windows patching also we have to do. Unix patching also we have to do it, right? So every month the security patching they will update. The Unix they will go for security patching, and Windows they will go for the security patching, right? So for example, in our machine, okay, so we will do update Windows, but how we will do in real time project? So every month we will go for okay Windows patching, Linux patching, so wherever we have installed. But here, so only the Windows, if the secure agent is installed on, we will call it a secure agent here. That secure agent, how it will be installed and where it will be installed. Based on that, we'll go for patching. So that alone will perform. So other than that, everything like upgradation, maintenance on the Informatica server, right? So everything they will handle it. Informatica handle it. We are not going to do any activities. So this is the entire ETL architecture, data warehouse architecture, business intelligence architecture. And here business team will take it. So for example, if you take, can you give one use case for real time like e-commerce site? Okay, if you take in that way, if the customer is placing the order, okay, we have to update an inventory, right? Definitely we have to update an inventory. If one particular person customer ordered particular product, then if inventory we have 100 products, we have to make it like 99. So that update we have to do. After that, okay, so a lot of customer information also like we have to do, and cart information. Okay, after that they'll go for payment information, right? So payment gateway. So we might use the particular company will not use their own payment gateway. They'll use different payment gateway, UPI gateway, other payment gateway. We have in India, we have a lot of Paytm, other payment gateway we have, right? So we may use payment gateway. For that also we have to pay some amount. The company will pay some amount, some as a commission. So then we have to create an invoice. So after placing the order, we have to create an invoice and we have to send that information to the merchant, and merchant will pick that, merchant will confirm that, and everything it will be like a creating the record in the OLTP system. And they will, okay, they have received the order, they'll confirm it, doing the shipment, right? So everything. So after that, so ELT processes ETL, yes, extract the data at the end of the day as a batch data, transform data and load it here. But if you take ELT process, extract the data from the sources, it may be like transactional data at the end of the day, or for example, customer reviews. Customer is doing the reviews or product review. So whatever they are doing it, or cookies, the whatever we are surfing, all this information, mobile application logs. So whatever they are surfing, searching, which location they are from. So what is the age of the particular customer? All this will collect, right? So all those information will collect, and at the end of the day here we will do the analysis. So what kind of analysis? What is the operational efficiency? So we do have one team, it's a budgeting team, budgeting and forecasting. So they will collect all the information from the source system, and they'll go for okay, this is the budget for each VPs and each department, and how much they have spent up to now, and what is the remaining budget, and each and every project wise they will collect the budget information, they will go for forecasting, and this is what the remaining budget for you for this particular quarter, this particular month, year on year. So everything unused amount. So a lot of analysis they will do, and they will go for okay, different analysis. For example, if it is e-commerce site, as I told, it's like a customer satisfaction survey, better user allocations, right? Resource allocations. So you have the employees, so you can check it how this application is performing. You can do some marketing. So marketing here, targeted marketing. Okay, so this way how this particular product is performing. Okay, this particular regional wise analysis, all this I have to do. Lot of analysis they will do it in this particular business side, and for the business side we are loading the data. So this is entire ETL architecture.